Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at a couple of fundamental building blocks in JavaScript today.
Yeah, so data structures, really useful ones, but maybe, they get a bit overshadowed sometimes.
Totally. By just plain old objects and arrays.
Exactly. We're talking about map and set.
Right. And think of these as like specialized tools. They're designed for certain jobs where they work much more elegantly than the usual suspects.
That's a good way to put it. So our goal today, let's unpack what they are, figure out where they really shine.
And see how knowing about them, like when to use them, can seriously level up your coding.
Yeah, it's kind of like getting a shortcut to understanding some pretty powerful tools.
Okay, so let's start with Matt. What's the basic idea?
Well, at its core, a map holds key value pairs.
Hmm.
So in that sense, it's quite similar to a standard JavaScript object.
Key value pairs, got it. But there must be more to it.
Oh yeah, here's the kicker, the really interesting part. Unlike objects, where your keys are, well, generally limited to strings, maybe symbols, a map lets you use any value as a key.
Wait, any value? You mean like a number, an object, a function even?
Exactly. Primitives, objects, anything.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal for how you can structure your data.
Huh. Can you give an example? Like where would that be useful?
Sure. Imagine you've got elements on a web page, like buttons, and you need to associate some data specifically with each button element itself.
Okay.
With a regular object, you'd probably use the button's ID, which is a string, as the key,
Yeah,
right?
that sounds familiar.
But with a map, you can use the actual button DOM element, the object itself, as the key.
Oh, I see. So you're tying the data directly to the thing itself, not just an identifier. That's neat.
It creates a much cleaner, more direct link sometimes. And another really important point, map remembers the original insertion order of the elements.
Order is guaranteed. That's different from objects too, at least historically.
Right. With plain objects, you couldn't always rely on the order, especially in older JavaScript environments or certain loops. Maps guarantee it.
Okay, so flexible keys, guaranteed order. Sounds powerful. How do you like actually work with one? Is it complicated?
Not at all. The common actions are pretty straightforward. You use map.setKey value to add or update an entry.
No sense.
Then map.getKey to retrieve a value.
Okay.
Map.hasKey checks if a key exists, returns true or false.
Right.
Map.deleteKey removes an entry. And map.size gives you the number of items currently in the map.
Delete and size. Got it. Seems pretty intuitive. And are they efficient?
Yeah, they're generally optimized for frequent additions, removals, and iterating through the items, especially compared to, say, managing complex keys in an object.
Okay, cool. So that's map, ordered key value pairs, any key type. What about set then? Where does that fit in?
Set is simpler in a way. It's all about uniqueness.
Uniqueness.
Yeah, it's a collection for storing unique values, any type of value, just like map keys, but just the values themselves, no keys.
So like an array, but it automatically prevents duplicates.
Exactly. That's the fascinating part. Uniqueness is enforced automatically if you try to add a value that's already present in the set.
Yeah. What happens? Error?
Nope, no error. It just doesn't add it again.
Yeah.
The operation silently does nothing if the value is already there.
Wow. Okay, that sounds incredibly useful. I can think of times I've written code just to deduplicate arrays.
Oh, absolutely. Sorting, looping, checking the previous item, it can be a real pain.
Yeah.
Set just handles that for you effortlessly as you're building the collection.
Nice. Does it have guaranteed order like map?
It does. Like map set also remembers the insertion order of its elements.
And checking if something is in the set, is that fast?
Typically, yes. Checking if a value exists using set.has value is usually very efficient. Much faster, often, than searching through an array with includes or index of.
Ah, okay. So fast lookups and guaranteed uniqueness. What are the basic operations for a set, similar to map?
Very similar pattern. You use set.add_value to add an item.
Got it.
Set.hasValue, check if it's there.
As like map.
Set.aDeleteValue to remove it. And set.size for the count.
Delete size. Simple enough. And you can loop through them.
Yep. Sets are directly iterable. You can easily use a for dot of loop, for instance, to go through all the unique values in the order they were added.
Okay. So putting it all together, map, set versus the standard object or array. How do you choose? When is one better than the other?
Yeah, that's the key question, isn't it? You generally reach for map when you need that key value storage, but your keys aren't just strings, or maybe that insertion order is really important for your logic.
Right, the special features of map.
And you'd use set when your main goal is just having a collection of unique items. If you need efficient checks for whether an item exists in your collection or you want to easily remove duplicates from some data,
The set is probably the way to go.
exactly. They don't replace arrays and objects entirely, of course. Arrays are great ordered lists. Objects are fantastic for simple string-keyed records. But maps and sets offer these more precise and often more performant solutions for specific kinds of problems.
So knowing they exist means you don't have to like force an array or an object to do something it wasn't really designed for. You pick the right tool for the job.
Precisely. It leads to cleaner, often more readable, and sometimes faster code.
So wrapping up, what does this mean for you, the listener? Well, understanding map and set, it's not just about memorizing new syntax, is it?
Not at all. It's about expanding your problem-solving toolkit. Having these specialized tools means you can tackle certain data management challenges much more elegantly.
They really are fundamental structures built for those specific use cases, non-string keys, guaranteed order, or unique values.
Absolutely. Very efficient at what they do.
So here's something to maybe think about next time you're coding.
Yeah.
When you're building that feature, or maybe refactoring some older code, ask yourself, could using a map here, maybe because I need to link data to objects directly, or could using a set to keep this list unique? Could that actually simplify my logic, or maybe even give me a performance boost compared to how I might have done it with just an array or a plain object before?
That's the perfect question to ask. It's about choosing the most effective tool you have available.